day, BYU Idaho Research Hospital. We are KGHC Security Group, and we're here to give you an IT briefing. Today we're going to talk about the University of Utah Hospital data breach. We're going to talk about this because this is something that could affect you as well very easily. We want to examine the importance of the patient's records and storage, and we're going to talk about the theft of some of these records. After going through the 2.2 million, they discovered that there was only 1.5 million records. We're talking about the physical theft of the backup tapes. We'll talk about the tapes that were recovered, damage that's been done to your trust and reputation, and the financial repercussions were great. Your hospital, BYU Idaho Research Hospital, you have a revenue of about $2 million. You have 2 hospitals, you have 6 neighborhood health care centers, 500 board certified physicians, and 100 of those are specialists. You have 800 plus committed staff members. With these kind of numbers, just in itself, you can see the importance of having a good IT security. This presentation is going to cover the situation report or the loss of records, possible actions, KGHC's recommendations, and also give you an opportunity to ask questions and get answers. Over to you, Alfred.
All right. So we're going to go over of how something, such a large breach happened and how some very simple steps would have prevented this. Basically what happened is that on June 2nd, 2008, over 2 million records from the University of Utah Health System were stolen. What happened is that these records were stored on digital backup tape. We were locked inside a stainless steel case. This stainless steel case was supposed to be taken to the Little Cottonwood Canyon storage facility instead of a Granite Mountain, run by Perpetual Storage Inc. in Utah. Instead of ensuring that the tapes got there the same day, a PSI employee decided to take the case and store it in his personal car instead of using a secured company van. Also, instead of going straight to the facility, this employee decided to go home and park his car on the street. So what happened at night is that some car thieves, saw the case and broke into the car. Fortunately, according to both the FBI and the Sheriff's Department, the car thieves were probably looking for valuables or money that might have been stored inside the steel case, and they were not looking for actual personal data to be stolen. All right. So what did this cost? For any patient record that was lost and stolen, the potential cost is $380 per patient. So just over 2 million patient records affected. You can see that the total loss value was about $570 million. It can cost, as far as downtime, it can cost up to $8,000 per minute in lawyer fees and law enforcement fees until the situation is resolved. It can cost downtime such as a power outage, equipment failure due to outdated software, and the loss of data. Often, insurance company will not reimburse the total the total cost for this loss because they feel, and quite rightly so, that it wasn't their fault that the data was not properly secured. So it is critical that we protect our assets at all costs. Heather?
So we talked about possible actions for the university hospital, what they could have taken, some precautions, but they did not take these precautions. And these are some things we feel that would have helped the situation. So one of the things is to encrypt, like have encryption on all of the records. And in this way, if somebody were to steal them, they couldn't break in and get people's personal information. And also to have 2 employees transfer the records so that one can keep track of the other. And the other is to have the hospital have a 3rd person waiting at a storage facility so that also can ensure that it gets transferred to the storage and somebody cannot keep them overnight in their car. Also, to have a GPS tracker added to the transfer case so that if it does get stolen in that case, then we can find out where it is quickly. And also the ability to remotely destroy records if stolen, so that if somebody is to steal these and to somehow hack in, we can destroy them so that they can't have the access to the personal information. And the other thing is to build a cybersecurity center and use the cloud so that this would take away the need for transferring a case of data. So our recommendations as the KGHC security group are to connect with hospitals in the Rexburg area. For example, the Madison Memorial and the Mountain View Hospital, and to collaborate with everyone and build one cybersecurity center so that all of the data can be stored in this cybersecurity center. And we would like the process to start immediately so that the chance of these being stolen and hacked can be lessened, and it will take a long time to build the cybersecurity center, so we would like to start it immediately.
The reason that we need to start immediately in building this cybersecurity center is that when the University of Utah hospital system decided to build their own after this following this data breach, it took them 8 years to complete. Obviously, there's going to be a gap of time between when we start building it and when it becomes fully operational. Until this is accomplished, we recommend that we increase the cybersecurity training for all our employees. As mentioned before, we recommend that all transports of sensitive information be performed by at least 2 individuals. All transport of cases is to be done in a company vehicle. That all records being transported need to be strongly encrypted, and all cases should be fitted with satellite tracking devices so that they can be located quickly in the case that they become lost or stolen.
Even with the precautions taken with your patient records, it's really easy to overlook the human error and the kind of damage that it can cause. The University of Utah Hospital learned the hard way about how important it is to train the personnel and protect patient records, and they did correct that by building a cybersecurity center. Ultimately, the decision is yours as to what you're going to do with your hospital, but we have put this report together in order to help you see some of the IT side of it. And we'll now open it up for any questions. Thank you.